to Montgomery College Facebook Live questions and answers, everything about international students. If you are interested in Montgomery College, if you've had questions about what it might be like to be a student here, how to apply, any question you may have, this is your opportunity to get some answers. We have students, we have people that work here at the college that deal with questions like this all the time, and we would love to connect with you. So look out for the comments section and write and type your questions, and we want to answer them right now. So welcome. Here today we have some coordinators, some students from Montgomery College who are going to share a little bit about their experience. So we can start first of all with our coordinators. Please tell us a little bit about what you do here, your name, and yeah, let's get going.
Wonderful. Thanks, Carolina. I'm Heidi Russell-Kalkofen. I'm one of 3 international coordinators here at Montgomery College. The college has 3 campuses, so we have 3 coordinators. I help with our largest campus, which is Rockville, with my colleague Marlon Vallejo, who isn't here with us, but is around anytime you guys want to talk to him. And with our smallest campus, which is our Germantown campus. So I'm here on helping with those 2 campuses. And what I do is I help with our students who are applying to the institution and with students once they get here. I do a lot of coordination of social events and orientations and workshops and those kinds of things for our students while they're here, as well as helping them with immigration kinds of things and visa stuff, which we all do. And then I'm very blessed that I get to keep in touch with some of our students too when they leave, because I get to hear all the wonderful things they're doing as they move on in their lives.
Awesome.
Hello, my name is Vida Bonsu. I'm International Student Coordinator at Tacoma Park Silver Spring Campus. I used to be a student at Montgomery College, but I wasn't as an international student, but I love being here as a student. And also, I feel like the family. I do the same thing as Heidi does. I've been doing this for about 12 years now. But Heidi is like the most, so I get more advice from Heidi. But other than that, we also help students all over the world who are interested in coming to Montgomery College to study or further the education. So I'm just happy to be here as a family.
Thank you so much. Students, let's start also with you. How has it been like to be a student here in the United States, here at Montgomery College, from another country? But also tell me your name and what you're studying and how long you've been at MC. Sorry, that was a lot.
Okay, my name is Diego Monroy. I'm from Colombia. My major is business. I have been a student here. This is my 4th semester now. And actually, I'm coming back to college. I studied already in Colombia, but I'm coming back to college. And the experience has been amazing. I have no words other than gratitude, and I'm very happy to be here because all of the resources that we have as students here, and not only as students, but let's say as a community here, are great. So I would encourage everyone and every single one of you watching right now to come here.
Hi, my name is Ellen. I'm from South Korea. And I have been studying at MC about for three years. And actually, this is my last semester, and I major in international studies. I'm coming back to college like Diego, yeah. And I really enjoying being here as an international student because all of the faculties, students, and even this community they are willing to help me and then give me help for the international student, and then they are so willing to interact with the people who are from the other countries. So and then the most of the benefit being at MC is I can say the facility of the campus, because English is not my first language, so that's why I used to get lots of struggle. Still, I have regarding to the writing, speaking, and English. That's why I visit to the writing center 3 times a week during my first semester. But nobody hesitates to give me help in the writing center and even in other facilities. So, yeah, welcome.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ninh, and I'm from Vietnam. This is, well, I've been an international student for almost 6 years, and I've been in MC for 2 years. And this is my 4th semester here, and I'm majoring in business. One of the things I like being an international student is that you have your own sense of culture, and then you get to meet up with another culture, and you get to learn a lot of amazing things about them. And also, being an international student in MC, actually I like Montgomery College because of its location, because in case you get homesick around the campus, they have a lot of international restaurants where they serve a lot of different country food, including my own home country food, which is pho. Yes, I'm a foodie. I love to eat. I love food. I love everything.
Okay, well, my name is Julia. I'm from Brazil. I have been a student here at AMC for more than a year now, so this is my 3rd semester. I am majoring in international studies. I really like being here at AMC because I think the diversity around the area, being close to Washington, D.C. is just amazing. I love just, visiting the area. And the community here is very nice, and it's a very homey place to be. So, yeah.
So several of you mentioned the diversity, so I want to go back to that because our campuses are uniquely diverse. Tell us where are students from, and where are international students also coming from?
I mean, sometimes it's hard for us to say who is an international student. I think almost 1 out of every 3 students at Montgomery College maybe was born outside of the United States. I think that's the right statistic. Anyway, so there are students from everywhere, all over, which is really nice, and I think that makes it a lot easier for students to make friends, and for the students that are here to feel like, well, everyone who comes on campus is someone that I can talk to, because I talk to all kinds of different people all the time. Each one of our campuses is kind of unique. I mean, I think Tacoma Park has sort of its own.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Tacoma, I don't know if it's because of the program that we offer, which is the health science program itself, and also in the other campus, like mostly computer and stuff, but it seems like more Asian in the other form, versus in Tacoma campus, we have mostly like African countries, from Ghana, Togo, Nigeria. We have all over the world, so we have different diversity from all over.
Isn't there a huge Ethiopian and Eritrean population in
yes.
Tacoma Park
Yes,
as well?
Yes, we do have Ethiopians as well. And within even that area itself, even if they are not like international students, Silver Spring area do have a lot of Ethiopians. So I think when they come in, they already feel like home. Yeah, so,
That's nice.
Yeah.
And the good food, yum.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
What I was going to say is one of the things that I do at orientation, all of you guys that have seen my orientation have seen my little wheel. So I've worked at a lot of other institutions, and Montgomery College has the most diversity of any international student population I've ever worked at. So when I sat down and did it most recently, I think it's still sitting at about our F1 international students on a student visa population is a little over 25% Asian, a little under 25% Central and South American, a little about 25% African, and then about 20% European, about 5% Middle Eastern. And so that's pretty astounding diversity from my perspective. A lot of students a lot of students who come to us say, yeah, I was at a school and everybody was from my country and I didn't really get to meet anybody from anywhere else, and I was looking for something that was different. And I've watched that with students before, where you get a little bit siloed and stuck because your school only attracts people from a particular country, or maybe they have a program with just that country, and that's awesome, but it means you're a little bit stuck. It's harder to just get out and meet people. And I think a lot of students who come here, certainly these guys are either international studies or business students, they're looking to make connections, and they're looking to meet people from other places. And so I think MC is unique in that way. I think we're actually recognized pretty well for being unique in that way. Aren't we the most diverse? We're the most diverse institution in the central 58 states. The So that doesn't community college doesn't include Alaska and Hawaii. Hawaii has its own thing going on, I think. But yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Also give us a sense of some numbers. How many international students do we have?
We sit around maybe 800, 900, somewhere between 800 and 900 students that are here on student visas. Obviously, because we're in this area, we also have kind of a whole diplomatic corps that's in the Washington, D.C. area and all of their family. Everybody who works at the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, and all of the international organizations and their families. The International Press Corps, journalists, that kind of stuff, we see a lot of them. The researchers for National Institutes of Health and for a lot of researchers that have come into this area for a lot of different reasons, and their families, and everybody comes to Montgomery College because they all know Montgomery College, which is cool.
So before I ask you the next question, I will invite our audience who's watching right now, if you have questions, those are the ones we want to answer because we have people right here who are sitting waiting for your questions. So make sure you ask, and we'd be happy to just take those questions and answer them for you, okay? So tell us the difference between a 2-year college, because we are a community college, and a 4-year college or university. I think that sometimes people might not understand the difference. And what's the advantage of coming to a community college like Montgomery College?
2-year college is basically the way myself, like I said, I started in a community college. And the differences is that because most of the 4-year institution are very huge in classroom, and it's difficult for the instructor to know you by name and get connected. For community college, it's easier to get to know each other by name, and I believe that the instructor have more time to dedicate it to individuals. Beside that, the fee itself, the tuition is also less, and so it helps you. So in case if you want to go to a 4-year institution, you already cut off like almost half of the 4-year institute. So whatever program that you want to do, you have already completed 2 years. And so going to a 4-year school, it helps. The other thing that I look at it is from somebody coming from outside, sometimes it's very difficult to just jump into a big school. So going to a community college helps you to adapt into the country itself, what each is about, and then from there moving to the next step. I believe that that is the best way. So for me, community college is like a first step in getting to a 4-year institution.
Nice.
Yeah. I think community colleges are unique. The United States really started this concept, and yes, we serve the community, so we have students here of all ages doing all kinds of different things here, but for the students that are here pursuing an academic degree, we talk about it being a 4-year degree. A lot of places it's going to take you a little longer than 4 years to get through. Basically, I use my hands a lot. When I talk to students, I say, really, it's really the first half of your bachelor's degree that you're doing here. And because of the way this is structured, the state university system, so the University of Maryland, College Park is pretty well known. University of Maryland system is expected to be focused on upper division, graduate level, PhDs, research, that kind of stuff. And so the state of Maryland decided, like many states have in the United States, that it would be smart to put their money toward community colleges to handle the first couple of years, so that students would have that in that smaller environment with faculty members whose focus is on teaching and not on research or something else, but is on teaching. And then students could seamlessly transfer from that first half of their program into the second half of their program, take all of that coursework and basic foundation information that they need with them, have all of that done, and then be able to put their resources on other things at the upper division and graduate level. So really what a 2-year institution is half of a 4-year institution. It's half of a university degree for a lot less money in a much smaller classroom environment with a lot more connection to your instructors. I think it's brilliant, and I tell my students that if they have friends that went straight to the university system, they're kind of silly. They missed out. The other thing for international students particularly, there's an employment piece that can be part of your education. It's called optional practical training, and some students may have heard, some of you guys out there may have heard of it. And optional practical training is designed to be for each educational level. since the associate degree, which is what we offer, counts as a separate educational level from the bachelor degree, students can get a whole extra year of that work authorization if they start at a community college, if they start at Montgomery College, than if they went straight into a university. So they just lose that whole year of that work authorization if they go straight to a university.
So this is really good and really important to point out. Let me see if I understood correctly, and I just want to reiterate. So if you came from another country and you started here at Montgomery College, you could be studying for your classes. Let's say you're working towards a business degree, like some of you, and you're studying for about 2 years is the average, right? And then I could get a work authorization to work for a year here in the United States, and then after that, I could continue my studies at a 4-year institution.
Yes.
That's a path for international students, correct?
Yes.
Correct. And at the end of that bachelor's degree, or with that bachelor's degree, you would also get a second year of that work authorization. But if you just went straight into that bachelor degree program and never went to Montgomery College, you would only get 1 year instead of a year at Montgomery College and then a year with your bachelor program.
Okay. So MC gives you a chance to get more work experience. I think
Yes,
that's awesome.
and some great internships and that kind of thing that we have here that then also builds and helps you to get into a much perhaps more prestigious institution for your bachelor degree, because really Montgomery College is really well known. I mean, I think a lot of students in the United States recognize that Montgomery College is very well known, a very well recognized name, and employers in this area certainly recognize it. They know what it is. But back home, someone may not really know what Montgomery College is. They're going to look more at your bachelor degree, and if by using Montgomery College as a springboard, you can get to a much more prestigious bachelor program and be able to afford perhaps a much more prestigious bachelor program because you saved the money by coming here at first, by taking this opportunity and then being able to get the experience, the work experience or the internships as part of your classes, then you're a stronger candidate when you go into those other more prestigious institutions, and that's what's going to sit on your resume as well. So I think students make a choice for that reason too.
Right. So we have a question right now from Fabrice, and the question is, what are steps to follow if somebody from overseas would like to attend MC as a student? So I think maybe either of you?
Well, I will let Vida talk about this. I'm going to pull some stuff up. So I understand that we can also show you sort of our page. So I'm going to go onto the college's main page, which is montgomerycollege.edu. And when we're able to show you, I will sort of show how we get to the steps, because there are 5 steps. I'll take it away, Vida.
Yes. And is that Fabrice? Was the Fabrice? Fabrice, nice meeting you. Well, hearing from you. Basically, if you're coming from overseas, we do have all the information on our webpage, but one thing that we want to make sure before you even start to apply to come to Montgomery College is that we want to make sure that you have completed high school, whichever country that you are coming from. And also, the other part will be making sure that you take, because we want to know the level of your English, there are different types of tests that we require that, you take either TOEFL, SAT, and some other tests that Heidi will pull up. And of course, the financial document, because we want to make sure that whilst you are coming here, you do have some sort of financial support to take care of yourself in terms of paying for your tuition and living expenses and that. But the other steps are just basically normal, just filling regular forms. And we make sure that as Montgomery College, one thing that I like about the way our international office is that mostly everything goes through us. So whatever questions that you have in terms of how to fill the application, how to process certain things, we are always there to help you, whether through emails or through phone or even in person to come and see us. So we make sure that we walk you through every process. And I believe that Heidi will kind of show us exactly what is the process.
So I'm going to go ahead and just start with, as I said, the main college page. From the college's main page and any page at the college, you'll find information about prospective students in a little drop down up on the upper left-hand side. When you go to international students, then you're going to find that you can select from that you want to be looking either for English as a second language or for your degree. So once you get into the degree portion, there's a whole section called Getting Started. And if you're getting started and you know that what you need is a student visa, or to get this form called an I-20 that you may have heard about from the U.S. consulate to get your student visa, that information is very clear. So we have that set up here to take you through what we call our steps. So as Ms. Vida talked about, there are basically 5 major steps to do this. One is a straight application to the college, and just so you all know, right now the application fee is waived, so there is no application fee to apply to the college until April 15th. So usually it's $25. It's not a lot anyway, but there's no fee right now. So the first is to apply to the college. It's the same application all of our students use. So the second one on here says, I'd like an I-20. I'd like that thing to get a visa. And it asks some extra stuff that we don't ask all of our students, like, are you bringing a family with you, like your children? And what's your other address? Because you might know someone here that you're going to stay with, so you might give us an address in the United States, but we still need to know your address back in your home country. So it asks some extra stuff we just don't ask everybody about. The third thing is that proof that you've just graduated from high school. We don't need all your grades. So that's another place where we're a little bit different from a four-year university that's being very picky and very exact about what you took and what grades you got. We need to know that you completed your secondary education. That's all. And there's a list on our webpage of what we can use. The fourth is that proof of English language proficiency. And so we ask our American students for that same stuff. We ask them to tell us, are you ready to write research at the college university level? Or do you need a little bit of help getting ready to do that? So even if you're coming from an English-speaking country, we're going to want that information to help us figure out exactly where you fit, like where you're placed in whether you're ready to start writing research or not. So we do ask for that. That could be the TOEFL, which you may have heard of. It could be the IELTS, the IELTS, which is the British version. It could be Cambridge exams. So if you went to a school that works in the British style and offered you Cambridge exams, you can use that. Or it could be sort of the American style SAT if you went to an international school. And the last is the evidence of financial support. So that piece is on our webpage. It's part of our 5 steps. It's also on the menu that you'll see listed separately because it's unique. It's the thing that really the U.S. government is looking for to get that visa issued. And we want to make sure that you not only have enough money to get you through, but that you don't have to stop because you don't want to stop in the middle, but also that you don't have to work. We want you to be able to get this wonderful work experience, to be able to take the right job to get you good experience, not just to make some money. And so the U.S. government is very exact in that they want to make sure that you have enough financial support for that. So all that information is in there. There's also information in there if anybody has gone like to university before, because we often get this question. We have students who started their university but didn't finish it, and they think they can't use anything. But that's not true. They can transfer things over to us. And the U.S. educational system asks you to take all kinds of things, not just from your major, but other things too. So even if you're changing your mind and you want to study law, like somebody down at the end of the table, and then change their mind and decided to study something else, then they can still bring in some of that coursework with them. So that's on there too, as a way to either prove that you are ready for the university level in the United States, which is our level, or to take in coursework from your other university level courses that you did back home. So,
can you remind us again, how do we find this information on the MC website?
Man, there are 2 easy ways to do this. If you go to the main website, which is montgomerycollege.edu, if you just put in a / and type international students, it'll take you straight to our page. Or from anywhere on the web page, you'll see that there's a place to look for prospective and current students in the upper left. And you'll see international students on that, and that'll take you straight to our page as well.
And you know, another thing I love about our website is that it's a lot like Google. There's a search little magnifying glass on the top right, and you can simply type anything you're looking for. Maybe you're interested in sports. Does MC have a soccer team? Or maybe you're interested in what kind of classes I need to take for my engineering degree. You can just type engineering and find anything. It'll come up as a search result, very much like Google, and you can find information like that as well.
There's also some basic information on the web page. If you look right above that search engine, we've got basic information in Amharic, in Spanish, in French, in, what else is on here? Vietnamese and Chinese. and uh-oh, I think I'm missing the last one. And Korean. Sorry. Ellen's like, I think I helped write that. Did you miss me? Anyway, so you'll find that information that gives kind of an overview of the college and where to find things at the college in different languages on the webpage too.
Also, if somebody wants to call the college and ask a question in their language, right, we can...
Right, that's right. So in addition to having some of our wonderful student assistants who speak different languages who are in the office, we have a way to have a simultaneous translator for, I don't know, I think almost 100 languages. And we can do that, like if someone has a friend or a family member who comes into the office, they can sit down with us and we can get a translator on a speakerphone and translate everything while we're looking at papers together. Or if somebody wants to call us, we can basically sort of conference that translator in so that we can answer questions in any language.
And we just have to call the general number for Montgomery College, which is 240...
567-5000 is the general one,
Right.
but our office is 5043. So if they want to get straight into us, they can call that. And that gets them information for all of our campuses. And they can even leave messages directly for me or directly for Ms. Bonsu or for Mr. Vallejo if they are already starting to work with one of us.
Awesome. Well, students, tell me a little bit about some of the best experience you've had at Montgomery College, and maybe it's related to a resource, or maybe you got involved in a club or an academic club or something, if one of you or two of you might want to say.
I think the working at the international office is going to be the best experience on MC, because while I was working at the international office as a student assistant for Heidi and Marlon, and sometimes for Vida, I could interact with lots of people who are from the South Africa, Togo, and Middle East, from the Colombia. So because if I did not work in the international office, even though I'm taking the class at MC, I might not be able to get more opportunity or to approach for the diverse people. So that's why I can say the working at the international office is the most biggest experience for me.
For me is we actually have a Vietnamese associate club here. We call it a club, but they call it a VSA, Vietnamese Student Associate. And then they get together and like organize and do events. For example, we have like a different type of a different holiday for New Year's holiday, and then last year the VSA, they get together and create like a festival, like a small festival, and they bring food. They do a lot of traditional performance, and we celebrate New Year's, Vietnamese style New Year together. And also I was doing Korean class, and the Korean class they also get together and do a Korean festival, and which include food and performance too. And it was one of the best experience I have here.
Well, I just started working at the international office, but I do believe that that's going to be one great experience for me. I also, right now, I'm not part of any clubs, but I am really interested in volunteering and also joining a club for this semester, or maybe looking for a volunteer position for the summer. And I do know that we have the student life, and they provide a bunch of options for all of the students, not only international, of course. So I'm going to take a look at that, and I think that's a great opportunity to not only meet new people and just do something useful during the summer, because I know not every student takes classes, but it's a great way to just keep in touch with the college and the community.
Ellen, did you get your volunteer position at the World Bank through that?
Yeah. Based on my experience at Montgomery College, I got very good opportunity to do volunteer at the World Bank Visitor Center. So because the World Bank headquarters is not open to the public, so that's why they it's pretty brand new. They opened the visitor center for public visitors. So I send resume. You might to the visitor center of the World Bank. You guys might need the volunteer who can speak Korean. So yes, according to my experience at MC, and then I developed my resume and then send it to them, and then they gave me opportunity to work with them. So because I think the Montgomery College is located in nearby the DC, the Washington DC area. That's why I was able to get this opportunity. And then still, through both of the experience, I can interact with a real American society because. Do you know, I'm a stranger. I'm from outside the United States. That's why they might feel me. They might think I'm a stranger or a foreigner. But if through getting more international experience at MC and at the World Bank, they would like to communicate with me. They would like to learn about my background or experience over the world. Yeah.
We actually have a question from Nadia who's watching this, so I want to get to her question. And she's asking, I'm already in the U.S. Do I still need to take the TOEFL or get the certificate? Can I take the placement test instead?
Yes, she can take the placement test. Basically, the reason why we require for TOEFL or other placement tests is because the students are not in the country. Once they are already here, we even encourage them to take our test anyway. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. And if they decide that they want to still take the TOEFL and they take it and they score higher to the college level, then yes, they can replace it. But once they are in this country, yeah, I mean, just go ahead and take our test, so everything is free. Now you get free application, free test taking. I mean, the only thing you have to pay is your tuition. But other than that, it seems like everything is, in your way. So yeah, basically, once they are here, they have to take they can take the placement test.
So I don't know if Nadia is visiting. Nadia, I'm not sure, but if you're visiting in the United States, we'd love to have you come by and you can get all of those kinds of things done with us while you're here on your visit. If you are at another school, then if you have a course that you can transfer to us, you may not even need to take that test if you're taking college-level English somewhere. But if you're not taking college-level English, we'll still ask you to take the test just so we can match you up with our courses. Now, for anybody who's overseas, I would say you're not going to fly in here to take the test, but if you happen to be visiting the DC area or New York, which is close, or Philadelphia, or any place that's close, that would be great. You could certainly come and take that test with us. Otherwise, certainly don't get on a plane to do that, but I'd be delighted to meet Nadia. She'll have to get in contact with us.
Yeah, and I would like to add to Heidi's, just to explain that the placement test is not basically passing or failing. It's just basically to tell us that which level or what level that we need to place you as a student. So sometimes people get scared that, well, what about if I take the test and I fail? We don't have the passing or fail. It just basically let us know if we need to start you from the lower level or you can start in the middle also.
So let me ask you this, because when I think about universities in the United States, I think, some are really hard to get into. They're very selective, and others are not as selective. So how does that work here at Montgomery College? Is it hard to get into MC?
Montgomery College is an open community college, so it's open for everybody. We don't just push you away because, we have people that they didn't actually complete their education. They have gone to the work field. Now they are interested in coming back to school. As long as that they, like I said, if based on your test results, it tells us where you want to start from, what career you want to do, you want to improve your education, it's open for it. So we don't put a limit to how many students. However, F1 student, we do have a deadline when you need to submit application. So if you miss that deadline, then that means we have to move you to the next semester. Other than that, we don't push you away because maybe you were not able to make it or something.
Well, you need to have graduated from high school.
Oh, definitely.
So that's the only criteria. That's the only base criteria that we have. But as far as exactly which grades you got, we're not so interested in which grades you got. And so, yeah, sometimes students didn't do as well as they wanted to do in high school, but now they're motivated and they're ready. And those are the students we want to see, because we know that we can help them get ready for the next level and get ready for a very selective institution if that's where they want to set their sights. If that's their goal. But basically, yeah, to get into us academically, we need to know that you have completed high school. We need to know that you have some English, because our English program doesn't go all the way down to 0. We do have ESL. We have English as a second language. We have 2 different levels of English as a second language. We have kind of a lower level preparatory, the kind of thing that you would take maybe if you were going to high school and you were just taking a foreign language. You guys took that? Is that what you kind of talk about? And then our English language for academic purposes is college level work. So essentially it would be like taking a foreign language at a university level, not at your secondary school level. But it's not quite ready to write research papers in English yet, and that's the goal we're trying to get everybody to. Can you write your research? Can you do your lab reports for your physics class? Can you write your term paper for your psychology class? Can you do all of those things in academic English? And that's the level we're trying to get everybody to. But we can take you from almost nothing, not quite nothing though. That's why we need those TOEFL or SAT or IELTS.
Carolina, sorry.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back a little bit on the point that Heidi was making about the location of the college. And I was thinking about all the let's say the great experiences that I have had here. And one of them has been to being close to so many cities nearby. We're really close to DC mainly, but we're also a couple hours away from New York, from Philadelphia, from a lot of places that are very interesting. So in terms of fun and in terms of culture, we have a lot. And for example, in that case, myself, I truly enjoy museums, for example. And the offering of museums here in DC is huge. It's humongous. Yeah, and most of them are free, yeah. I mean, almost all of them, actually. And that's one of the things. Another one is based on what Ellen was saying, all the international institutions that are located nearby as well. But for example, I was trying to go back to a couple names, but some of my classmates, the people at the hospitality management program, they take classes together with the business majors. And a lot of them are either doing their internships or working when they graduate for the Marriott hotel chain. So this is a great place for them as well. And also another really good resource or something that we have here and that I have experienced is that, for example, I remember when I was in university back home, my professors finished the class and that was it. It was very difficult to reach them out of class. Let's say if you have questions or you have something else that you need to work on. In this case, Montgomery College has, let's say, for example, tutoring centers. I remember most of my professors have, or not most, all of them, have office hours. And you can look for them, go and ask them things about the class, about the material that you're checking. And not only that, but most of the professors, let's say, help the students even in the professional field. I mean, a lot of professors have been giving me advice on how to prepare myself to get this or that job or do things outside of here. So if you look to the whole experience, I mean, it has a lot of benefits, and most of them are not the ones that are written in academic descriptions. So there's a lot more.
Saying that, yeah, because it's true, right? If you're motivated and if you kind of step out to connect with your professors, connect with coordinators, I think you'll find that a lot of people are very, very ready to help you. And if they see that, motivation in you. So can we talk a little bit about what resources are there available for international students as far as maybe scholarships? Where can they find information about that?
So Montgomery College is less expensive than most other institutions in the United States. So there certainly are scholarships, but we don't have a lot of people saying, oh, these poor students, nobody can afford to go here. And so some of the large, really expensive institutions have some people who feel that way. We do have a lot of scholarship opportunities that are listed on our main website. Most of the scholarships that are connected to Montgomery College are really based on a student's performance at the college. So they're not so much designed to have students come in out of high school showing us that they're amazing from high school, and particularly because we have so many students who come from so many high schools all around the world. I think the diversity of the institution says that we can't assume that everybody's high school is going to be the same and that an A in one high school means the same. So we want to make sure that we know what their performance level is. When they come to the college, based on their performance at the college, then they can be eligible for scholarships at the college. So we are very lucky at Montgomery College that we do have such a diverse student body. But a lot of schools and colleges, even in our general area here, are hungry for transfer students who can show that they have done good work, that they're good scholars, and that they're international students. So we have them come to us to get students who are graduating from Montgomery College for transfer scholarships. So we have information on our webpage specifically for our international students who are currently here in international student or F1 visa status, to look at where they may transfer onto, who it is that's looking for MC graduates that will then give them scholarships, and then ways that our financial aid offices also help students to look in general for scholarships. And then the scholarships that exist at the college are mostly based on performance or honors programs. Are any of you guys in the honors programs, Renaissance Scholars, or there are honors programs at the college that also help to provide tuition relief for students. And then there are also programs that help students that are in need of extra assistance. Min, were you talking? No, I think it was another student who was talking about the Achieving the Promise Academy. So we also have some very specific opportunities for students who are looking to have a mentor help them that also help them financially in that way. So as far as financial resources, that's one thing that I would certainly talk about. We are starting to look toward next year's athletic scholarships. And I'm not really familiar with those, but certainly students can check online and take a look at the college site about those, as they would be looking at the financial aid site about financial resources. Our resources for students just to make friends and stuff, you guys may be able to talk to more than I do. We have a very specific organization called International Friends Montgomery College that does social activities. We are just starting the Cherry Blossom Festival here in Washington, D.C., world famous Cherry Blossom Festival. And they're going down to the festival on Saturday to go, I think, to the kite flying contest. I don't remember. Kite festival, yeah, the kite festival. And they go hiking, and they have dinners together, and they do things like that. So, and they also meet, I think, a couple of times a month on campus just to have meals together and talk about things and provide support.
Global Connection. Well, before I talk about Global Connection, I just wanted to also add in terms of scholarship, sometimes there might be scholarship which is basically from outside, not necessarily within Montgomery College. So it might be like from their embassy that are looking for maybe just only females within their country who have made certain GPAs. And once they send us those information, we send it out to our students.
So that Nigerian one, right?
Yes.
I know the Nigerian embassy does that. And we blasted that out to all of our Nigerian
so sometimes
students.
when we do get any information for those, but they still need to be at Montgomery College in order to qualify for that. Now, the other Global Connection is basically held by one of the counselors at Tacoma campus, and what they do is that they have different activities in terms of taking field trips to DC and other locations, and also they have cultures, activities like International Day, and so they invite all different people from within the area, and as well as the student, the community itself. They bring food from different cultures. They bring their uniform, and they show a lot of activity in terms of dancing and all those stuff. And also student life itself, sometimes they do have field trips from here to New York. So sometimes they have a lot of stuff going on for, not necessarily for F1 students, but for all over. So there are a lot of things that, available for a student. And as far as making sure that they're okay, one thing that Montgomery College have is that we held your hands from beginning to an end. We go through from the application. You have counselors to work you each semester to make sure that what you need to do to graduate. And then we make sure that once you are graduate, we are always there to cheer you up. And then transferring to another school, we guide you as how you need to do to transfer to another school. So we have students that they have transferred, they have married, and all. They're still coming back to us because they feel like they are part of their family at Montgomery College.
We have another question from Fabrice. These are really good, Fabrice. Is there a specific amount or minimum amount of money to have proof of financial support?
Yes. So each year we have to come up with an estimate, and that's a government regulation. So any school has to come up with an estimate. It is designed to include tuition and fees, other expenses to be a student, like books and supplies, and if you're going to be an art student, they get a big portfolio and a bunch of paintbrushes. I don't know, you guys can help me with this stuff. And then living expenses. And so living expenses comes directly from the estimate. So we have for all of our students, our students that are here in the United States who need to also apply for scholarships or financial aid and specify what it costs to live. And that would include their room and board, transportation, health insurance, which is important in the United States, and spending money, pocket money. So that all together for a year is $28,000. So if you take a look, I think we have maybe some information on our webpage. That's about, anybody making applications right now, I think that's about half of what the University of Maryland's estimate is for an international student. Maybe, yeah. So it's a lot less. I know it sounds like a big amount of money when you say it all together, but when you think about it over the course of a year, that's a little more than $2,000. That's a little more than $2,000 a month, and you're getting school included in that. So to live and go to school and do all those things in the United States, particularly in a place that has as many resources as this does, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and the other part is that sometimes they worry, like, do I need to give the money to you? No, we just want to make sure that you prove that you have that money in your account. The other good part is that Montgomery College, when you register for classes, you do have the option of doing installment plan. So you don't have to actually pay the whole fee within the same, like, one time. So you can do it, like, partially. So there are always a way to go around it.
And the government usually wants there to be enough shown in savings for just the first year. Obviously, not the whole time you're going to be here, but that's what usually is the minimum amount that needs to be there. And a lot of our students actually know somebody who's local. So we have a lot of students who kind of have split sponsorship, who have family from back home sending money for something, but they may have a family member or friend or somebody in the local area that takes care of some of their living expenses stuff here. So it doesn't all necessarily have to sit in one person's bank account.
Okay. Very, very good clarification on that. I want to just invite anyone who may have any last questions. We're going to be wrapping up soon, so please send them in and we might be able to take it. But students, before we go, do you have any piece of advice? How can someone who wants to come to MC, who wants to come to the United States and become a university student here, what is one piece of advice that you would give them? How to prepare, or maybe how to make the most out of their experience?
Actually, my only, let's say, advice would be study hard, because that opens doors. I mean, at all levels, not only with professors here, but let's say with all the resources that are around. So I would say that's the most important thing. Study hard and of course enjoy it. And this is a very enjoyable experience.
As for me, I would say don't be shy, and like just express yourself in any ways that you can. And yeah, go out there and make friends. You don't get any, this is the chance that you get to make friends. Montgomery provide you, and you don't get this experience anywhere else.
I think people don't have to hesitate to just do it, because to making decision to come to Montgomery College, I just decide within 2 hours. Yeah, before coming to mainland, I was in Hawaii, and at the time, shortly I just came back to Korea to go to my friend's wedding. Within the 2 hours, just I decided to move to mainland from Hawaii, and then I made action. So people just you guys don't have to hesitate, just to make action.
Decisiveness, Ellen. That's awesome.
I would say just make the most of it and enjoy everything in the way, because it's still, of course, an education and it's school and you have a lot of work, but just any opportunity you have to grow and to do something else from here, and even just to travel, even just make the most of it, definitely.
We have one more question to answer. So Anna, and I don't know if any of you are a part of Phi Theta Kappa, but her question is, what are the benefits of an international student becoming a part of Phi Theta Kappa? What is Phi Theta Kappa, first of all?
Phi Theta Kappa is an honors organization that is specifically designed for the associate level of education, for people that are getting an associate degree, and so those are mostly community college students. That is an honor, and that will certainly look like an amazing thing on your resume, on your applications to go into the next level of education. There are scholarships, and they are not dependent, from what I understand, on U.S. government money, so that they are open to international students. But again, because this is based on all the students who are in this are honors students, and that therefore is recognized. So you do get a beautiful stole at graduation, and I think a pin, and I don't know, are any of you guys find that? No.
On the diploma,
Oh.
there's an additional, how you call that, a stamp that is Phi Theta Kappa.
Ooh, very, very pretty. Right. And then I do believe they have speakers coming in, right? They have speakers that come to the meetings.
They have some events, and they also, I mean, that's an additional benefit, but they have discounts. For example, if you're traveling, you get traveling discount, car rental discount, a lot of things going on around. Yeah.
You know how to save money, right?
Yep.
You're looking at the discount.
Well, I think with anything, I know in every country there are things that help identify you as being sort of not known to other people. And so if this is something that is on your resume, then for the rest of your life, anybody who was a member of Phi Theta Kappa or Phi Beta Kappa, which is the bachelor level equivalent of this, are going to recognize that, and they're going to know, okay, this is a fellow person who made a commitment. Because there are meetings and activities, it's not just, yes, I can go to do all of my classes and get good grades and go home, but that you actually got involved in something and that you spent time with that. It helps connect you. And I think that's true of lots of opportunities and clubs and organizations and all kinds of things. But that one has a specific purpose, because it does say I'm an honors student. You don't just have to look at my GPA. I went above and beyond, because you have to be recommended, right?
It's actually based on, I think it's a recommendation from a professor,
Right.
and you receive an invitation.
Right, so it's not just I showed up and did good work, but my faculty member recognized me. And that's nice about being at MC, because your faculty members know you enough to recognize you.
We weren't done yet. Any other advice that you might have?
I don't think so. I don't know.
One thing I would say is that most people are fear of unknown and coming to a new country where they are unfamiliar with their environment. Montgomery College is so welcoming that once you get here, sometimes you even forget that you are outside. You get so connected, because some of the things that I hear from students asking is, do you have anybody from my country here? And they come into my office and definitely, yes, they see that, wow. So yeah, definitely you don't have to be shy. All we want you to do is just go ahead and do your part. There have been a lot of students from Tacoma that through Ralph Barbara, he's one of the co-op coordinator, has helped most of my students when they transfer, get full scholarship, get paid job and everything, and now some of them are even permanent resident based on their stuff. So once you do the job, we will also try to do our best to help you.
Awesome. Any last thoughts? Anybody? This is your chance before we close out.
No, I think that has summarized
to
it well.
share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited to have students here, and I know that when I talk with my colleagues at the Education USA offices, and I hope if you are out and about that you are all familiar with the fact that the U.S. consulates all have an Education USA office attached to them. Those people know a lot about how to help you get into an institution. They are very committed and knowledgeable about the benefits of being at a community college, but all of them have said to me that they are so excited that they can always come to us and say, do you have a student from this place? Because we have students from everywhere. And it's really wonderful. It means that you get to meet a lot of people, and that can make a whole lot of difference in your life.
It has. Well, thank you all very, very much for sharing. This has been really great, and I know that you all have been wonderful representatives of your respective countries here. But I also trust that you felt very, very welcomed here at Montgomery College and the United States. It's just evident from, just your smiles and talking about your experience. Thank you, Vida. Thank you, Heidi. If people want to connect with you, I know they can find information on the website. Again, the website is montgomerycollege.edu. And specifically for international students, you can type
/international
that's right,
students.
/international students.
We do have a questions email that specifically just says I-20 questions at montgomerycollege.edu.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter. You can find also more videos on our YouTube page. You can just type Montgomery College on YouTube and just, keep watching. We've got a lot of great stuff coming up, a lot of events. And don't forget to contact us if you are interested in MC. Thank you very much.
So that's information that's on our webpage so if you can see the webpage, I don't know if you want to flip over to the webpage one more time, just so we can show that. Under our Getting Started area over here, we've got lots of information. We have a special place for if you have questions. There's an email. There's a way to call us. And it indicates always that you can get in touch with us through the main college webpage as well. So we really look forward to having you with us, helping you get to know Montgomery College, feel at home, and we look forward to welcoming you.
And one thing I do want to reiterate, if people want to call us and they want to ask a question in their own language, maybe some parents have questions about the school, feel free to call 240-567-5000 and ask for someone in your language. So that's another amazing resource that we have here at Montgomery College. Once again, don't forget montgomerycollege.edu/international students. I got it now. And like Heidi said earlier, there's basic information about the college on our website that you can find on the top right. There's a little world icon up there, and you'll find information in Vietnamese, Korean, Chinese, Spanish, Amharic, French. Did I get it all?
I think that was it.
Awesome.
You got it all.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah, once again, I really appreciate just all of you joining us and sharing this information. Very generous of you. And, please continue to send in questions. This video will continue to just be up there on our Facebook page, and you can send in your questions. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us today. Here from Montgomery College, Carolina Galeano.